Hello, this is my first ever Flosstube. Never done anything like this. Don't really know why I am, other than peer pressure. I'm the kind of person that messes up my words on a good day, so this is going to be really fun. Hope I can make it through this. This is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. um, I think I was trying to decide, what do you do for your first one? And you got to kind of introduce yourself, but I don't want to give you my entire life story because I think you'd run for the hills. So I've born and have lived in Indiana my entire life. I've always been a family kid. I stuck around my family. They were safety. We lived in a small town where everybody knew everybody. Then at 14, I moved to the second largest city in Indiana, Fort Wayne, and it was a culture shock, so I hid at home with my nose in a book. But I always liked crafts. I did a lot of latch hook rugs. I liked needlepoint. So when I went to the store to get a new needlepoint or latch hook, I walked by the counted cross stitch and I said, "Oh, wonder what all those are." And I saw a dragon. I'm pretty sure it was the Dimensions, the one where the dragon's wrapped around the castle. And I thought I could teach myself how to do that. So I bought the kit and went home, and I honestly fell in love. Creating something with a blank piece of fabric with threads just was amazing to me. So I fell in love, and that was the end of that. Life brought me a very great husband that I'm so thankful to have. He's definitely my soulmate. His name's Fred. We have one son named Jeremiah, who's just my everything. He's 26 years old. He was born 2 months early. And I think he's going to stop by and say hi. That's him. Hey. And the doctors was telling me that he's going to have probably something wrong because when he would go to sleep, he would forget to breathe on his own. So we ended up finding out about the age of 1 that he definitely had cerebral palsy, which for him means that he can't walk without assistance. It also meant lots of therapies, developmental therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and all the things. So it was neat that I was able to stay home with him. I didn't have to work, thankfully. I was able to be a stay-at-home mom, be there for all of his appointments, and watch him turn into the amazing person he is now. While he was doing nothing, I could sit and cross stitch and watch and blink and see, now that he's 26. So cross stitch has always been there to give me something to do with my idle hands. The invention of the internet led to Yahoo groups, which led to stitching retreats, which was so interesting. I decided to start a blog, which I very much enjoyed. I still actually have a blog. It's titled Jeremiah's Mom. I update it every Monday. That community was so much fun to be a part of. The stitching retreats was a blast. I was lucky enough to get to go to PALS in Myrtle Beach for so many years. I don't remember how many years, and meet people that I've met online. Been friends with forever and get to see in person is just an amazing thing. The blogging is dying out. Yahoo groups died out. So I lost kind of touch with that. I kept in touch with my local group, but that was really it. When Facebook come around, I tried to understand the Facebook groups, but I just couldn't keep up with it. It seemed so different. So I kind of took a break for a little bit, and then I got into a Facebook group for just life motivation, and then I got to thinking, I wonder if there's stitching groups that I can understand. A blog friend of mine was talking about monthly magazine challenge, and I thought, well, I'll go check that one out, and I've been hooked ever since. I now try to join them all. I love the games. I think the game groups and the challenges are so motivating. I'm already stitching because I love it. But for me, when they give you the, hey, if you do 500, you get a point, I don't know why, that's just really exciting for me, and I really, really seem to enjoy it. So I am in multiple groups, and I love that community. Then with blogging dying out, everybody that I know was talking about Flosstube, including a real life friend, Janet Jabber. And I watched her Flosstube and I thought, I don't know if I can do that. I don't have the confidence. And I tried to watch some other ones and I couldn't get into it for years. I just don't know. It seems like even in the new age of catching on with technology and stuff, I'm just like, now I'll stay behind and I'm just going to stick with my blogging because it's fun. I've since started following new people, Adelaide, Carolyn Zook, 614 Stitcher, Becca. It's just been fun to feel like you have a friend sitting there, even though you're in the safety of your house. So I thought, I should give back. I should do something. I should try this and see what happens. So here I am. Let's go ahead and get to it. I figured today is the best day as any because tomorrow starts a new month. So I figured today I'll give you a glimpse with what I plan to do for February. Like I said, I'm in all the challenges, and I think that that's a great start. I'm not going to do a whip parade because I have 60 whips. It would take forever, and I think it would be boring. I'm going to be a before and after kind of person and tell you what I'm doing for what challenges. So I practiced last night to get a graphic or an image here. So hopefully there's the first, what I'm doing for monthly magazine Acrostic. The acrostics seem to be my favorite. I love the creativity of plug in something for a letter. I do really enjoy a prompt type challenge too. So I figure I'll show you the start for what I'm hoping to reach goals this month. So I'm going to be reaching, I am old fashioned. I still do paper patterns. Like I said, I don't know why. I just stick with what's normal, what's old. I keep all my floss in its own little floss box for the project. So like this one is along the nesting boxes. Then I know I can grab that one and that's got everything I need. I keep that in a little tub. And then I have a tote with my 60 whips all laid out in it. I use plastic envelopes that I get at Walmart or on Amazon. And it just keeps everything together that I need. And they're alphabetized in my whip tote. That's where I keep my 60 whips. So for monthly magazine challenge, the first thing is a theme. Carolyn and Robin pick it for something fun, and you pick something that matches the theme in your opinion. The theme for February is fabric. So I am using a piece on my favorite fabric. It is Mason Jar Lineup, which is by Dimensions. It was a kit that came out from Dimensions, and it's on white Ada. One thing you'll also learn about me is I tend to have my own way of saying things, so who knows if that's the right way to say it, but that's how I say it. And I changed the fabric to this absolutely gorgeous 32 count Jack's Rum Belfast linen, and I am so in love with how it's turning out. Right now I have the first 2 jars completed. They are backstitched too, and I just started the 3rd flower. So my goal for the mason jar for the acrostic is to add 400 to that one. I don't know why I pick what I pick. I just pick a number and go for it. Sometimes I have a yearly goal set up for the project, and sometimes I just go, let's go with 400 for the month. And then most of the time I end up getting a lot more. I pretty much always hit that as a minimum. The acrostic then is cotton. So for C, I picked Christmas Lantern Mill Hill Kit. This one is actually in a really neat Disney Villains bag that I got. This is what it will look like. It is on perforated paper. I really love doing Mill Hill kits. I find them really relaxing. And this is what mine looks like so far. I started that one January 14th this year. I guess I forgot to tell you, I started the mason jar September of last year. Another thing I do is keep a little notepad or paper with each thing, with each project, that I mark off what day I've stitched it. I count my stitches. I use a row counter that I got on Amazon for $7. To me, it just made it so that I could play all the games, and I really enjoy how many stitches. At one point, several years ago, I did time, and I didn't like that. I thought it sounded really kind of depressing to say, well, I stitched for 7 hours on that. People are like, why don't you do something else with your time? So the O for this one is kind of funny. I did over 1, so I'm using Beer Dragon, which is Pain-Free Crafts. It's going to be for my husband. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing it on 32 count lamb's wool 1/1 complete X. That is what I enjoy doing. I think the coverage is amazing then. I am almost done with the top row. If I stretch the fabric, you don't get the lines, but I'm working on that. A lot of times I have finished 2 Heaven and Earths. When they're framed, you do not see the lines. Just right now in the pictures, of course you do. This is at the beginning, and this is not. So you can see I've learned how to hide it better by going back and forth and where the rows are. I started that one in 2018. It hit away for a while. Now I have a goal for this one for 500 a month, and so far I've kept at it. I just have a little bit left to do to finish that page, and then I'll start back over here, which I'm really excited about, to get more to that dragon. That will be fun. Okay, the next letter is T, and that is The Pirate by Cottage Garden. This is what it will look like. I've always enjoyed pirates, and a pirate snowman. How can you not like? I'm doing this one on 36 count Mirage Edinburgh linen, because I wanted it to look like a dark, stormy night. There is where I'm at so far. I really enjoy working on this one. It's just, for some reason, he doesn't come out very often, so I need to get that taken care of this year, hopefully. Okay, next is The Mandalorian. Janet from Janet Jabber was working on this, and my son fell in love with it. He's my little Star Wars nerd. So I was lucky enough to get the pattern, and then a friend, Annette, actually Janet Jabber's sister, gave me a 40 count piece of fabric. I think that was my first 40 count. Yes, it was my first 40 count, and I am now in love with 40 count. Thank you, Annette, for that. And here's where I am. I am just now to Mandalorian. I have his outline done. I'm working on the inside. I am using the Forbidden Fiber Arts threads, which are amazing. They're very nice to work with. I really enjoy them a lot. Her color names are really funny, which I love. So that one's really cool. Let's see. After that one is one of my favorites. I tend to say that a lot, which I guess, you know, why would it be a whip if we don't enjoy working on it? This is Yggdrasil. Did I say that right? Okay. My son likes to correct me with how I say it. We love Norse. We love Vikings. When this one came out, I was just like, yes. Pain Free had it. I think now it is no longer for sale. So I'm very, very glad that I got it when I did. I started it June 1st last year. I'm trying to get at least $250 a month. Most of the time I get more. I think this month, sorry, I forget that it's the end of January, I got like 900 added, which made me extra happy. This one's also on 32 count lamb's wool, 1/1, complete X. And this one takes a lot longer because look at that detail. So many color changes. I guess you can also see, yes, I do the parking method. That just clicked for me and worked for me. You don't have to start the new thread and do one stitch and then, you know, end it. I think that for me it just worked, but that detail is just amazing. So it's definitely taking a lot longer to stitch, but I enjoy every little stitch. So, and Jeremiah demands me to work on it. He demands me to work on a lot of pieces, I've noticed. You know, the Mandalorian and Yggdrasil, but that's okay. You know, we do what we can to keep our kids happy. All right. And then after that one is in, and I am doing along the nesting boxes, the in and nesting. That is one of my new pieces that I started for New Year, New Start. I am breaking this one down into monthly sections for the whole year. This is what it will look like. So if you see, there's like a January section and a February section. So each month ends up being like 2 fence posts and all the little goodies in the middle. So I have finished the January section. That's what it looks like so far. I love the little bird and all the little details. This one is on 32 count platinum Lugana. So for February, I will add the February section, however many days that takes. I think, yeah, the January section took me 5 days to stitch up. So it was yet another joy to stitch though, so that's okay. You know, the behind the scenes is how much of a mess you make when you throw all your whips all over the floor. So that'll be fun to clean up. That finishes the monthly magazine acrostic. Then I'll go to the Fun with Cross Stitch acrostic. They are doing 2 a month right now. There is one that is for United States capitals. February's capital they're using is for Michigan, which is Lansing. For the L, I am doing the mason jar lineup for the L. The A is along the next nesting boxes. The N is Mother Nature, and I haven't talked about her yet. She is from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think this one was the, let me see, February 2023 magazine. Their plan, it's from Stitchora, sorry. Their plan was to do the 4 seasons, so they have winter, summer, spring, and fall. We picked winter first because that's what season it is here. Then they added Halloween and Christmas, so we jokingly talk about how it's a 6-part, 4-part series. So I am using another 40 count that Annette gave me. This one is from Mystic Fabrics, which I've now, of course, need more Mystic Fabrics. This one is Illusion Verdale. And I am doing her 2/2 so that the coverage is as good as I could get it. I did backstitch her face because I wanted her to look at me, which, boy, now she's begging to be stitched. She really is just a beauty. I love the detail. I can't wait to get more done on her. And all of the others would be great, but we'll see how that goes. You know, we always set these grand plans of how many we plan on doing in a year, and realistically, with all the whips I have, who knows what will actually get done. Let's see. Then for the S, I'm doing Yggdrasil because the artist is Ann Stokes. For the I am doing Irish Blessing, which is a Hirschner freebie. I haven't talked about that one yet. Tickled Pink. I think it's Tickled Pink and Stitches. Blog was working on this. She's a great lady from Pennsylvania. And I think, I could be wrong. This was beautiful, and we have Irish in our heritage on my dad's side, so I knew I had to stitch it. Hey, free, you can't pass that up. I am stitching it on a 32 count antique white Belfast linen. I am going to attempt to make a bell pull out of it, but I am extremely nervous about that because I've never done that before. I am almost finished. That is all I have left to do is the bottom border. So I really, really think maybe it will be finished in February. How cool will that be? You'll have to hold me to it because I said it here. Let's see. Then the N is Noel Gnomes. I went on a buying spree and got several Jardin Privé. I have no idea how to say that. And the words are in French. So I call it Noel Gnomes. I love gnomes. And this one is just too cute. I also have the Easter, the Halloween, and just in the land of gnomes. I'm doing it on 32 count light mocha Lugana. This is where I am so far. Another one of those that I really like how it's turning out. It's nice that the white shows up so well on the light mocha. The G is my favorite designer, Erica Michaels, because it is on silk gauze. She does these beautiful, I don't know if she still does, because last I heard it's really hard to get the silk gauze. So luckily I bought a whole bunch of these at the Pals retreat because she came every year, and my mom purchased as many as we could, which I am so thankful for because they are beautiful. This one is Heart and Compass. So it's on the 40 count silk gauze, which normally is very hard to get a picture of. So I wonder how it will show up on here. Let's see. Yep, it's the right way. I try to do the motifs first, which is what it's suggested, but then you can see I kind of wanted to see how it would show up with the dark background. It does show up a lot better in real life. It just is hard to photograph, so I'm not surprised that it's hard to video. These pieces are beautiful. I have several finished. They're so easy because when you get done, they're just like 2 by 2. So you can pop them in your own frame. I got one professionally framed, and the guy was like, it's an honor to do that. I've never done one before. So that made me feel really good. That finishes the Lansing acrostic. So then the next acrostic, Beth set up, and it's a long one, but you're allowed to use the same project for more than one letter, which is really nice. You could actually do that for all 3 acrostics that I'm doing. I saw one lady do one pattern for every letter. You just have to be really creative with how you set it up. So this one is Be My Valentine. So I am using Beer Dragon for the B and the E because it is on even weave. I'm using the Mason Jar lineup for M, Yggdrasil for Y. Then one I haven't talked about is Creepy Christmas Village for the V in Village. It is a Lola Crow, which is a new obsession. This is what it'll look like. When I first seen this, I thought, oh my gosh, that is too cool that it's Halloween and yet Christmas. I am doing them the way it's suggested as individual ornaments. So I started with the creepy Christmas tree. Again, I like to give Jeremiah, like I'll say 1 to 6. And for this one, he picked the creepy Christmas tree. Then I can blame him if he picks one that I don't like doing, or I kind of blame him anyway, no matter what, even if I really love doing the piece, just because, you know, why not? This is where I am right now. I am close to finished. This fabric is 32 count Lunar Lugana from Bestitch Me. I really love how the white shows up, and that was important. I think I have like one more crow and some little details. Yeah, I think that's it. And then this one will be done. Who knows which one Jeremiah will pick for the second one. Well, he knows I'll do whichever one he asked me to do. Let's see. The A is along the nesting boxes. The L is Christmas Lantern, the Millhill kit I showed you. I'm doing a second round on Yggdrasil for the E, since it's on even weave. I'm doing a second round on along the nesting boxes for N. The T, I'm doing the pirate, so that I can get more progress on this. For this one, there is a goal of 200 to count the letter complete. Just motivation, give you that extra push. The I is Irish Blessing, the Hirschner freebie I showed you. I'm doing a third set on along the nesting boxes because the sections for that one tends to be fairly large. Of course, I don't think I have how much the first one was handy. And the E, the final E is even weave again. I'm using Yggdrasil for that to get a third more progress on that piece so that Jeremiah will settle down and leave me alone. So that's my acrostic plans. The other plans are pop-ups. Each group tends to have pop-up challenges. I know last month, I think it was Whip Warriors did a fun birthday challenge where 4 ladies that had birthdays in January picked a piece that they wanted you to get 500 stitches on. That was very motivating. They did Fancy Lady, which I used the Mother Nature. They did a gift, which I did Beard Dragon, since it's a gift for my husband. Your Oldest Whip, which I don't have out. I'm sure it will be out sometime. It's a Old Heaven and Earth that I started in 2013. And of course now I don't remember what the fourth one was. Oh, the largest, which was Yggdrasil, because that's the largest pattern I have. It's going to be a journey to hopefully finish it sometime in my life. When it comes to the Facebook groups, my absolute favorite is All the Floss of the Fair. It is based on like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and you kind of stitch on your own solo game. You plug in things to build your park up, which I think is so much fun. I'm in a few team-based ones like Hell's Stitchin', which is based on Hell's Kitchen. It's hard to get into, but it's fun. You'll build recipes for that one. Magazine Monthly Challenge is definitely a favorite. It's laid back and calm, and sometimes that's nice. I was in one that was just too much. It tried to be like Dungeons and Dragons, and it was too open-ended and confusing, and I never knew what to stitch for, and I did leave that one. I'm in Whip Warriors, which is closed. Unfortunately, you can't join that one. I think at the end of the year, they do new members. Semi-Sane Stitchers is a fun one. You never know what they're going to come up with. They do a lot of yearly challenges. Fun with Cross Stitch is a really fun one. They do a safari, which is like the fair game where you're doing the roller coaster, but this one you're building for animals and your safari camp, your base camp. They're also doing a road trip around Australia, like Whip Warriors, but different. I'm also in Fandom, which this year is doing Supernatural, which is one of my favorites, and Doctor Who. I stitch up for a lot of challenges in that one. I know February they're doing a full coverage one, so that will be nice. I'll get extra points for Yggdrasil and Beard Dragon. I'm also doing Yal, Year of Whips, and Soulful Stitching. I picked, how many did I pick? I picked 25 pieces for 2025, so I need to finish half of those by the end of the year. I did that one a long time ago. I think it was 2018. So it was really fun to come back. I'm in Stitch Village, which is fun. It's kind of role-playing. There's a lot of dice games. You roll dice and see what you're stitching for. My team is just, that one's really fun. And I'm in Floss in Space, which is fun team and active. I found a friend through Facebook groups that was from Germany, and she's got me to join a whole bunch of these. If she says, hey, you should join this one, of course I test it out and see if I like it. The peer pressure is really strong. So, okay, well, we're 33 minutes in. I figured that this would be hopefully long enough to not be too short, but hopefully short enough to not be too long. Go figure that one out. I'm hoping to do this weekly. We'll see. This took a lot of courage. I'm going to try to do the fancy, look, a graphic. Hopefully I can figure that out. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you stopped by. Otherwise, I just look like I'm really talking to myself, which I do a lot, so that's okay. Okay, so we'll see you next time, hopefully. Thank you. Bye. Hello. After watching it back, there was a few things I wanted to throw in that I feel like is important to know why I am the way I am. So I'm throwing this one in. When my son was in 3rd grade, I decided that he was not happy. He was not benefiting from public school. So we decided on homeschooling. My mother's happy place was traveling, so we would joke about we used to do 2 6-month vacations a year. The places Jeremiah got to go and see in his life has been amazing. We would always go to aquariums and forts and museums, and we also did book studies when we was at home, and we just really made sure to maximize life. In October of 2022, unfortunately, we lost my mother, which was a very big adjustment. For my whole life, she had been my best friend and my second brain. So these last few years, I've really had to figure out who I am. I went from pretty much stitching all nautical stuff because that's what my mom enjoyed, to what do I want? I do a lot of seasonal stuff. I do a lot of monthly decorations. I do a lot of fantasy. I love dragons. I've always loved dragons. My online handle for most things is Dragons Lover. When I started my blog, I thought, well, that would be, I don't know if I want that. So the kids at Jeremiah's school used to call me Jeremiah's mom. So I was like, hey, that works. When we lost my mom, we moved back to this tiny town that I was from. I much prefer country life. My son lives with me and my husband so that I can be there to take care of him. He is now my best friend and my second brain. I'm extremely thankful for the life that we live. He is a gamer. He is nearby playing Xbox, so sometimes you hear him playing. He's a gamer. I'm a stitcher and a streamer, so I love all different shows. Oh, of course, when you're doing this, you forget everything that you wanted to say. I know one thing. I wanted to end all my videos with something that's important to me. When Jeremiah was born and there was things that he couldn't do, I always told him that no matter how bad life is, it could always be worse. Even on your worst day, that's still the truth. So I wanted to end my videos with love yourself, find happiness, and definitely stitch all the things. I know that that's my approach to life, is I focus every day on what makes me happy. And that's so important. The crazy world we live in, we need to make our corners as good as we can. And I really focus on that. So now I want to say, love yourself, find reasons to smile, be who you are, and stitch all the things. I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.